Alright, welcome into another online experience video. In this one, we're going to be going into and checking out and going over everything that is Black Ops 6, the beta, Call of Duty, of course. And so let's just jump right into this and do it. This is the first game to be really published by Microsoft and to be fully accessible through Game Pass. And if you don't know, if you're living underneath a rock or something, yes, Microsoft bought out Activision. So this is really the first game that is released after the buyout, after all this stuff. And it's like, they have everything is integrated into Game Pass, the full thing. You can get kind of a easy way of jumping in and actually checking out the gameplay. So let's see here. Let's go on from there. Black Ops means Treyarch, and this is the, of course, next installment of the Call of Duty series. It is made by Treyarch, as Treyarch always makes the Black Ops games. But this one also, it kind of feels more like Cold War, and therefore it feels a little bit more like Modern Warfare, because it really seems like ever since Modern Warfare, the remakes that they've put out, that the higher ups at Activision there is something in the management roles around Treyarch and Infinity Ward that Treyarch it just seems like Treyarch is trying to make more of a Infinity Ward feeling type of an experience, where Treyarch used to always be way more arcadey and such, meaning so now Treyarch used to have a lot of bullet sponginess to it, where the time to kill was more extended than the Modern Warfare series. So we have a shorter time to kill, which in all honesty that just makes it more competitive online, because when people have higher pings and such, there's only so much that the rollback netcode can actually do. But yeah, it's just like when it feels more arcadey, again, that has always felt more like Treyarch. Infinity Ward is more like the whole not really boots on the ground, as some people used to complain about the jetpacks and everything when they had all that stuff going on. Of course, both development studios did all that, but this feels more. The reason why I bring up the jetpacks too is because the movement system in this. We'll get into the movement system where you can jump around and you can lay on your back and this and that. But the movement system in this, it kind of reminds me of the jetpacks in a way, but just not like with the vertical. It's more the horizontal, being able to slide and bounce around corners and all that. So, in all honesty, that makes it more grounded in my book, not so much arcadey. Arcadey feel of it is kind of like just running around and just trying to find everyone that's sitting in a corner and blast them. So let's go into map design. So as you can see with this, there's a lot of flanking routes. Treyarch has always made maps that were more 3-route maps and everything. Again, kind of more of an arcadey feel, where Infinity Ward would always make maps with flank routes, and Treyarch games would always kind of encourage the camp it out to win method, where Infinity Ward was always the one that was like, nah, let's give you flanking routes, give you secret passageways and everything. So that's what this feels like. It feels way more like that Infinity Ward style, where you have multiple routes in there that you can go around and get around objectives and all that. You can get in on enemies. So if enemies start trying to camp down a certain site or whatever, there's a way of getting around it. There is lines of sight. There is back doors in there, secret passageways. One of the main things that the developers love to always say is you have a square map and you have a rectangle map. The rectangle maps are always 3-route maps. The square maps are always the maps that you can basically, again, you can use maybe an underground passageway, or, in this map, you have a bookshelf that can move, or you can shut down the security and block off certain ways of entry, and basically bottleneck your enemies coming in, or your opponents coming into that spot that way. Also, as you can see right there, that in the menus you can actually change your weapons on the fly, and that's something that has been around for a couple of years. But if somebody hasn't played Call of Duty in a few years, yes, that's a new thing that you can do. It's very, very cool. I love that feature of like, okay, I just got this, I need to do like one, one match, get a few kills to get an attachment unlocked. Boom, I got that unlocked. I don't have to wait till the end of the match to customize my loadout. I can just kind of go into the menu, flip on the attachment. There we go. Good to go. Cool. Now, let's see here. Yeah, so again, if you've had any hands-on with a Call of Duty since Modern Warfare Remake, or really also Warzone, then you know exactly what Black Ops has in store for you. Again, with this menu stuff and the movement system isn't revolutionary. I guess we'll get into the movement system a little bit more here. So the movement system overall. It's a cool addition, but it's nothing actually new. Like, we have actually had, the dolphin dive before, and this just feels like a camera trick type of a thing that they're doing. It's like a technical camera trick that they're doing with a dolphin dive. So all it is the same dolphin dive that you've always had, but now you can kind of pivot the camera around. Oh my. It's nothing revolutionary. It's nothing huge. In all honesty, if you've played anything like Max Payne back in the day, then literally it's that. It's that system that Max Payne was doing. Like Max Payne, it's like Max Payne 2. It's more on the Max Payne 2 side of things, or where like Max Payne would do the Matrix dive, but instead of having slow-mo, you just dive. And then maybe you can slide in, kind of, go prone on the floor and then start looking around, and all that stuff. But again, it's nothing revolutionary to gaming. We've had it for years at this point, and for them to be like, oh my god, it's amazing. Like, if there was real physics built into it, like Max Payne 3 had, and not just a camera rotation trick that they're doing, then I would think it'd be a little bit more of a, whoa, okay, this is kind of crazy. Can the game engine handle all the physics, especially when you're online and everything's happening like this? I don't know if that could. I know that Max Payne 3 did it in a way, but yeah, again, if you played any games like that, you've seen, that was a dolphin dive right there, and then it's just whoop, oh, I'm going up on my side. Yeah, I mean, even something like Horizon, Forbidden West has had that. I do believe it was Horizon. That's had stuff like that. So again, it's not revolutionary. They are trying to hype it up a lot of like, this is the new movement system. Yeah, it's cool that they added in there, but another one too that I don't have any footage of because I think it's only in zombies mode, I do believe, is third person mode. I can double check later on after this video to see, but for the most part, I'm pretty sure third person mode. It's in zombies mode only. It's nothing, again, third-person mode is nothing new to COD. We've had that before, actually, in the Modern Warfare series, back in the Xbox 360 days. The MW3 had a whole third-person mode playlist that you could jump into. I think there was another Call of Duty after that also that had the third-person mode. Basically, it makes it feel a lot like SOCOM, U.S. Navy SEALs, or something like that, where you're running and gunning, have the camera kind of over your shoulder. The one kind of difference is the camera is a little more zoomed in on this version of the mode, which is kind of nice. I always would think of, like, the zombies mode actually reminds me a lot of Resident Evil remakes, and the way that the camera is kind of zoomed in on the shoulder with that. It's not something that is just kind of an afterthought. It seems like they are actually, really working on that camera movement. Again, with the newer game engines, it's a lot easier to do that type of stuff. So maybe bring it back to the maps. Just a real quick thing on that is these maps, as you can see, they don't really feel like a reskin so much. I was thinking Skyline, okay, this is probably going to have the same kind of layout as the other high-rise maps and such, but no, this again, there's like secret passages and everything. So these maps actually seem like they tried to make something a little bit newer with it, which that's one of the oldest, things that everybody always says is, oh, look, it's this map, it's that map, from another game. They reskinned it, threw it back in there. The guns, on the other hand, definitely feel like a reskin. And so with that, we'll transition into talking about the weapon unlock system, which the weapon unlock system is pretty well straightforward. Again, as you could see, when when I'm in the middle of the match, I can flip out attachments and all that. Now, if you're getting 20, 30 kills up on the board, it feels like always that you're getting something else unlocked. There was a pretty good pacing of the unlocks, I guess we could say. But yeah, the whole customization on the weapons and everything is very straightforward. The reason why I still have the gunplay up on the screen is because of the fact that we will end up seeing, like, if you're just doing enough work to kind of get yourself on the board some, you're bringing in enough XP to get the the next unlock for your gun, or that, or like a gadget or something that you might want to use. Now, I like the pacing of this because it's like every single match I feel like I'm unlocking something. Here we go, progression right here. Again, I want to see this carry over to the mainline games. I want Call of Duty, every time I do something, I want to have like 2 or 3 unlocks for each gun. I don't want to have to sit there for an hour trying to, just get everything unlocked and whatnot. So yeah, straightforward menus. It's not the progression trees or any of that stuff. It's just like, okay, here is all of the attachments that you can throw on the gun. Here's a simple little animation that you can use. So you can see right there, I got a suppressor on the gun, reflex sight, and of course you have limited spots that, to be able to put stuff onto the gun and everything. But yeah, it just feels like whenever there is especially something like a shooter game, where it feels like, or an online game, I should say, where it feels like you are getting a new unlock every single match, it makes you want to do one more match, one more. And that gets you in that loop of like, I could just do one more and then I get, this or that unlocked. That is what you strive for as a game developer. That's the way it should be. So the XP unlock right now, I think it's at a very good pace. It just makes you want to keep going, and when you stop, then you're like, okay, well, my first match on, I'm gonna have a new unlock, and it just feels like you accomplished something right when you jump in. You can also jump in just for like 10 minutes a day or something, just get a couple unlocks done, get a couple ranks and everything. That pacing, I feel like, should really stick around. Now, something else that we've seen on the COD Next event was the camos, a couple of them, the diamond camos. I'm not going to show up on screen, but if you've seen the old school golden diamond camos, it looks the exact same. That is kind of a reskin there, which means the camos are going to be basically the same things, which we've always kind of seen over and over again. Overall, though, I would say it feels kind of weird to say, but Black Ops 6 is actually not bad so far. Now, a lot can change from here to when the game actually launches. They could make some dumb decisions. They could, make the time to kill longer, or they could, if they listen to the community too much, everybody's going to cry and whine about something. It is the Call of Duty community. But I guess the final notes on this is really, this is kind of the most accessible Call of Duty from both sides of options, because there's a ton of accessibility options in this, and also the price point where you can jump in on this on Game Pass and just try before you buy, which I think is great. I think more games should do that. Every game should have a trial. Every game should have a demo, so you can actually try it before you spend, a big chunk of cash in investment on the game. Is we haven't seen anything with battle passes or anything DLC wise, anything like that on this yet, but it's going to be there. We already know it. But hopefully the battle pass also comes down in price some, because that's one of the biggest gripes I always have, is the pricing and everything. But anyways, this is Black Ops 6 Online Experience. You can see there's a lot of customization, the normal Call of Duty stuff. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. And as always, I will see you next time.